You're tuned into the first newscast devoted to the Highland Lakes area. Local team coverage on Tribune Headline News. Bringing you the stories you care about now. Hi everyone, this is ThePicayuneTV. I'm Connie Swinney. You've tuned us in on Northland Channel 15. Here we cover the Highland Lakes in news, weather, and sports. And here's a look at the stories we've been working on. How about a tranquil getaway in Burnet County? We have the place and a list of activities for October. Also, we have the latest on staff changes at the Marble Falls Lake LBJ Chamber of Commerce. We have a preview of this evening's Friday night football action and what's in store for your weekend weather coming up. But first, let's start with news from the local public defender's office. Attorney Richard Davis's announcement he's running for district judge will eventually lead to a vacancy. Burnet County has opted to continue paying Davis until a permanent replacement is found. Interviews are expected to start this Friday to begin a staff search for the new office. To help matters, officials just received nearly $500,000 in grant funding to revamp the department. Some propose hiring a nonprofit group to represent defendants who cannot afford an attorney. In the meantime, county officials have asked Davis to handle about 300 cases that involve primarily indigent defendants. That caseload will shift to whomever the commissioners appoint in coming weeks. In our next headline, the local Chamber of Commerce takes steps to replace its leadership. Christian Fletcher stepped down from the lead post of the Marble Falls Lake LBJ Chamber of Commerce recently. He's now in charge of the city's Economic Development Corporation. Chamber officials say they're sifting through about 30 applicants to find a replacement. In the meantime, they're making some staffing changes as well, which include turning a couple of part-time positions into a full-time one. The board also voted to bring back longtime chamber member Gay Bergman as a full-time employee.
Hey everybody, Daniel Clifton here. I have the latest on how your weekend weather is going to shape up, and it looks like we may see some relief from the searing heat after the break.
We are established. We are qualified. We are certified. We are knowledgeable. We are dependable. We are Ken's Heating and Air. Our people make the difference.
Because experience matters. For home, auto, business, health, and life, we are here for you. When Galloway experts make top providers compete for your business, you win. The Galloway Insurance Team, since 1935. Burnet, Horseshoe Bay, and Marble Falls.
Hi there, I'm Daniel Clifton. Thanks for keeping it tuned to the Picayune TV. Our weekend weather is shaping up quite nicely with mostly clear and sunny skies, highs staying just below 90 degrees. For the rest of your Friday, expect a high near 88. Winds may gust a little, however, as high as 20 miles per hour. Temperatures will dip below 60 degrees by Friday night. Great football weather for sure. It's homecoming night for the Marble Falls Mustangs. The weather looks much the same for Saturday and Sunday. Highs just under 90 and lows in the mid-50s. Winds will primarily be out of the east and northeast up to 15 miles per hour. By Monday, winds will shift to the southeast and will hold on to the mostly sunny skies, as well as temperatures in the upper 80s. We hope you enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. I'm Daniel Clifton for the Picayune TV, tossing it back to Connie.
Thanks, Daniel. It does sound like great weather for a weekend outing. So for an outdoor experience, we found a list of features at Inks Lake State Park for the family to enjoy. That story later on.
There's no crying in football. That's the word from Marble Falls High School and Faith Academy. We're going to check in on the football teams coming up in sports.
Coach Larry Berkman takes a hands-on approach to coaching, and he takes that same approach to handling your car. So join Coach's team and give your car, truck, or boat the MVP treatment at Coach Wash, where our customers call the plays.
Marble Falls High School area football teams have no time to feel sorry for themselves, and even if fans felt bad for them, they don't want the sympathy. That's because both teams now are starting in on some very important, fast, and hard competition. We're going to start with the Marble Falls Mustangs as they're coming off this 6-0 loss to Cedar Park Vista Ridge. Marble Falls will be playing Rouse from Leander at Mustang Stadium 7:30 Friday night. And of course, this is a big District 25 4A game. How big? Well, we asked head coach Cord Warner that very question.
Well, in order for us to stay, solid in the hunt, it's a huge game for us. I mean, Our kids are at home. They've been successful this year. They don't like losing. They are gonna be ready to protect their own house. It's homecoming. It's a critical game in district. The district is tough. Vandergrift's playing incredible. Griffin Springs is playing solid. Rouse is putting up a lot of points and beating a lot of folks. I mean, it is a very, very solid district. So it's a win we need to step up and take.
Of course, the Faith Academy Flames also are starting in on district competition, traveling to face Kerrville, Our Lady of the Hills. Now, of course, Kerrville has a 4-1 record. Faith Academy was able to defeat Our Lady last year, but that was here at home. We did get a chance to ask Russ Roberts about this matchup. Here's what he had to say.
Well, they've got an excellent tailback. Walker, I believe his last name is number 7. He is their best offensive player. He's their best defensive player. And we've got to neutralize him. We've got to be able to tackle him. We've got to be able to control him. And we've got to be able to not allow him to stop us.
The Flames will be kicking off on the road again on Friday at 7:30. That's it for sports. I'm Jennifer Fierro. Connie, back to you.
Jennifer, thanks. It's finally starting to feel a little like fall, especially in the evenings. Our friends at Inks Lake State Park have sent us a list of fun things to do if you have plans to visit. Every Friday evening from 5 to 6 p.m., you can go fishing with the park ranger. You can enjoy hikes in the hill country on Saturdays, October 8th and 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. There's also a Stumpy Hollow hike from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturdays. Those Saturdays are October 1st, 15th, and the 29th. Also, a geology session called Geology Rocks. Every Saturday at 10 a.m., that's a good one for the kids. There's an electric boat cruise from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays through October, except for the 29th. And a session called Owl Prowl is scheduled from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Sunday, October 9th. There's also a moonlighting paddle in the evening on Saturday, October 8th. All these events are guided tours. Call the park for prices and a detailed schedule. Those were your headlines. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the scouting reports for Burnet and Marble Falls. You can also check out the scouting report for Faith Academy by going online at ThePicayuneTV.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Connie Swinney.
Welcome to the Tribune Scouting Report. I'm Jennifer Fierro here in the film room of the Burnet High School Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs are coming off a 23-20 win over Gatesville, which makes the bye week extremely enjoyable. We're going to ask head coach Doyle Walker about that big win and exactly how his Bulldogs are spending the bye week. In addition, we're going to hear from legendary coach Spike Dykes about Central Texas football. All that and more on the Tribune Scouting Report coming right up.
Fall season in Texas calls for Sunday afternoons with friends, football, and of course, barbecue. At Bill Smith Butane, we take care of your fuel needs. Refill your propane bottles at one of our convenient locations and save big money on regular exchange prices. Bill Smith Butane.
Thanks for staying with me. Joining me is the head football coach here at Burnet High School, Doyle Walker. And Coach, congratulations. Another hard-fought victory on the road against Gatesville. I think now this is a 2-game winning streak for y'all, winning 23-20. Kind of summarize that ball game for us.
Hey, it was a hard-fought game. Gatesville is very talented, and they're much improved over the last couple of years. And you know, they have some excellent players. And I tell you what, they gave us all we wanted, and our kids were scrapping from the start of that game to the very finish, and we were fortunate enough to hang on and come out with a win.
Do you feel like this is another confidence builder, especially for your young guys who, I don't know if they're still feeling their way for the varsity level and the speed of the varsity level, but how would you characterize it?
I think here again we continue to grow, and our younger kids continue to get more experience, and that's a good thing. And I felt we matured a lot from that game.
Coach, I know y'all are experiencing a bye this week in preparation for the start of District 25 3A play. You're sitting at 3-2. While I think you'd like to have a few more wins, Are you about where you wanted to be for this time of the year?
I think so. You know, I felt like, you know, with a little bit of luck, we could have beat Marble Falls. You know, Giddings was probably in a different class than what we were at this point in time in the early part of the season. You know, I'd like to have another shot at them right now, but I think, you know, I think our kids have gotten better as we've played these last 5 ball games, and I would say we're probably about where we should be.
Okay, so you feel good about the progress that your team has made so far?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I feel really good about some of the positions that we've got our younger kids in, and kids who didn't have any varsity experience, our junior class, and even some of our seniors too that had only played JV ball. So I feel like, you know, these games have given us a good opportunity to grow and get better and learning experiences.
You're taking a bye.
Mm-hmm.
How are you spending these 5 days here?
Work. Yesterday we didn't work out Monday. You know, we came back and after school we watched film, you know, of Gatesville and got that behind us. We hit the weight room yesterday morning and did our conditioning. We felt like we needed to continue doing that, and this morning we did the same thing, weight room and conditioning, and this afternoon we'll have an hour on each side of the ball. So offense and defense, and you know, we're going to get back in a routine, and hopefully we can get down what, you know, Lampasas does with their offense. And it's not easy to simulate that type of offense. You've got to change everything that you do, and it's pretty difficult. And sometimes, you know, there's just no way you can do it. So hopefully we'll have that down by next week where we can get a better look at it.
Yeah, Lampasas still running the slot T, 4-1 on the season right now, I believe. The last time I checked the standings. Without getting specifically into your injury report, I don't want to talk specific names. I know you really can't anyway. But as far as injuries go, do you feel like the injuries have been kind to you? Not so much. Do you feel like you're healing up?
You know, we came out of the Gatesville game bruised and beaten a little bit, but I don't think we came out with any serious injuries. I think we got some bumps and bruises, and I think we're gonna overcome those this week in the bye week, which came at a good time for us.
I know that you have a lot of teams right now. I believe in the vast majority of your District 25 3A teams all have winning records. I think this is a bye for the entire district this week. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Everyone has a bye this week, and we're all getting ready for each other. And so, you know, we can start district off next week with a bang, and it's very important that you win that first district ball game and kind of put you in the driver's seat. So we're gaming up, you know, gearing up for that part of it.
Okay, all right, Coach. Appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again next week in preparation for the Lampasas game.
I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Caring for you like family is not just our motto, it is our commitment to our patients. At Texas Hills Urgent Care Centers, our highly trained nurses, physicians, and staff know that your health and your family's health are important. With weekend and evening hours, Texas Hills Urgent Care Centers is here for all your family's health care needs, including treatment for illnesses, injuries, school and travel vaccinations, as well as many other services. Located on Highway 71 in Bee Cave and on Highway 281 in Marble Falls, convenient and professional medical care is just around the corner.
We're back. Joining me now is the legendary Spike Dykes, Texas Tech head football coach, has lived in this area for a long time, has had a lot of chances and opportunities to go out and see a lot of football. Of course, you know, I want to ask you about the Burnet Bulldogs, the number one, in my opinion, the number one program here in Burnet County, obviously the one that's had the most success the last decade. 3-2 on the season, Coach, but they're experiencing a bye this week. What are the coaches and players doing right now as we speak?
Well, the bye week is usually it's good news, bad news. You know, the good news is you don't have to play anybody, so you can really go back to fundamentals. The bad news is, boy, it's a hard work week. There's no question about it. That's when you try to correct all the mistakes you've made in the first 5 games, and it really is an important time of the year for a football team. You know, Burnet's been so close, and Burnet's got, you know, when you can rely on tradition, tradition, honestly, in high school football, wins games for you. And I don't care what anybody says, they get used to winning, they expect to win, and they have an edge. And to try to regain that the tradition and try to regain that, you know, that magic, an open day's good, especially after a couple of heartbreaking losses, you know. And Burnet is, always has been, always will be a good football program. So it's just a matter of, I think probably, I bet you this, I bet they're excited to be open this week because they have a lot of things they can work on and get a lot better.
Well, like you said, it might be a blessing, might be a curse. They're on a 2-game winning streak right now, their first winning streak of the season. Obviously, that has to help them. Of course, they're not the only ones on a bye. The entire District 25-3A, the same division Burnet plays in, Lampasas, Salado, Taylor, Llano, everybody's on a bye. Liberty Hill. Do you think that's a good thing, bad thing? Is there an advantage to everybody taking the same bye?
Oh, I don't think it makes much difference. I think really the good thing is that they are on a bye week before they start conference or district play, and that's the good thing. And I think everybody probably will get a bonus out of that. You know, bye weeks are important. I have seen teams get so much better in a bye week that it's not even funny. And I've seen teams, you know, come back, overwork, overdo, whatever, lose enthusiasm, and get worse. So how you handle that week is so very important. And, you know, the good thing about it, Burnet's got a lot to build on. They're getting better every week. You got a lot of inexperienced football players, and a bye week's good right now, I would say, very good.
Yeah. They have about 6 sophomores that they've been relying on heavily. Coach Walker gave us a story that right after the Giddings loss, he talked to the players in the locker room, let everybody change, shower. Then he got his sophomores, took them to his office, sat them down and said, okay, boys, the jitters are now over. We don't have time for you to be nervous under the Friday night lights. Can you kind of give us an impact? What do you think as a young coach, or as a young player, when your head coach takes the time to talk to you and tell you those things, what kind of impact does that have?
Well, it has a great impact. You know, the thing about it, sooner or later you got to enter the arena. And when you get a chance to enter the arena, when you're young, when you're a sophomore, it makes a lot of difference. But to be able to put it on the line and be in a real leadership position as a sophomore is hard to do. And that's why I think after 4 or 5 games, I think an open date is really, really good. And you know, these kids grow up; they grow up fast, and now they're not sophomores anymore because they've already got half a season, so they're nearly juniors. So you know, hopefully they'll play like that.
You, one of the guys I know who travels all over to different places throughout the Central Texas area trying to find what you think is the top game of the week. Give me some of your thoughts about Central Texas high school football. Is Texas high school football still one of the very best nationally, you think?
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Jennifer. I'll tell you the surprising thing about it is you go back 20 years and put yourself back 20 years ago. Central Texas football is great right now. I mean, it is fantastic. We had, there were some, you know, Austin Reagan, and there's been some good football programs around here for years and years, but look at all the great football players in this area right now. And I don't know if they play high school football any better or anywhere than they do in Central Texas.
All right. Well, Coach, certainly appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to inviting you again and hearing from you soon. And we'll be right back.
Thank you, Jennifer.
We are established. We are qualified. We are certified. We are knowledgeable. We are dependable. We are Ken's Heating and Air. Our people make the difference.
A 2-game winning streak definitely brings a lot of enjoyment for a team that's experiencing some success, especially during their bye week. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the Burnet Bulldogs this week. Remember, even though they're on a bye, that doesn't mean they're not working. They're still on the practice field, fine-tuning their offensive and defensive schemes, and they're going to need that, especially facing a very dangerous Lampasas Badger team that is 4-1 on the season. And of course, we're going to be back here next week where we sit down with head coach Doyle Walker and get his thoughts on the Badgers and exactly what the Bulldogs need to do to start off the District 25-3A campaign on the right foot. Till then, I'm Jennifer Fierro. We'll catch you next week. Welcome to the Tribune Scouting Report. I'm Jennifer Fierro here at Mustang Stadium, home of the Marble Falls High School football team. The Mustangs suffered a 6-0 loss to Cedar Park Vista Ridge on Friday. We're going to check in with head coach Cord Warner, ask him about that game, as well as homecoming week and the big game against Leander Rouse. Then we're going to hear from our special expert, legendary head coach Spike Dykes. All that and more on the Tribune Scouting Report coming right up.
Fall season in Texas calls for Sunday afternoons with friends, football, and of course, barbecue. At Bill Smith Butane, we take care of your fuel needs. Refill your propane bottles at one of our convenient locations and save big money on regular exchange prices. Bill Smith Butane.
We want to thank you for joining us wherever and however you're able to. We're here talking to Mustangs head football coach Cord Warner, coming off, well, I think it's a heartbreaking 6-0 loss, Coach. How would you describe this loss to Vista Ridge from last week?
Absolutely, it hurt really bad, you know, especially with, you know, the adversity our kids, I think, kind of dealt with and overcame. Scored and had it brought back. It was a really tough one to swallow.
You know, just listening or walking the sidelines there towards the end of the game, you guys played such an outstanding defensive game. I really want you to talk about how hard the defense plays. I really feel like Ricky Sparks and his unit gave y'all a great chance there throughout the ball game to kind of close that gap.
Our kids did a good job. You know, we started out like we sometimes do, a little bit scarily. And they moved the ball well. When we got down in the red zone, our old kids bowed up a little bit, and they wound up getting 2 field goals, either of which I'm not sure how they got over the goalpost. And then after that, you know, our old kids basically shut them down all night. I was real proud of them for that. And there was, you know, in spite of everything, we really felt like we were in the ball game and could win the ball game throughout.
You know, I'm going to have to ask you about your quarterback. That's the #1 question that I've had since, you know, hitting the streets of Marble Falls on Saturday. I'm sure you've had a lot of people stop you and talk to you about your quarterback situation. I know because of privacy you really can't say a whole lot, but what can you tell us about what's going on with the quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, the reality of it is he's been working through and playing with an injury to his throwing shoulder for a couple of weeks now, and has done a good job with it, and has been able to be effective for us. We have been rehabbing it and thought that might be something we would be able to get past come the week of Vista Ridge. It had become more painful. We'd been rehabbing it. We started working some other guys to make sure we were ready for that ball game a little more. We always work them, but working them a little more. And it's unfortunate, but at this point, he's not going to be throwing the ball anymore for us the rest of the year, I guess. So we have worked in some other packages and some other ways to be able to throw the ball effectively, and our kids have jumped on that starting yesterday and have done a good job with it.
Okay. Moving on to Rouse. This was a big game for us last year. Again, the exact same situation. Losing home to Cedar Park Vista Ridge, hit the road, get a big crucial, what I thought was a crucial win at Rouse last year. Now the situation's the same, the venue changes. Tell me about Rouse in this game. How big is it?
Well, in order for us to stay, you know, solid in the hunt, it's a huge game for us. I mean, our kids are at home. They've been successful this year. They don't like losing. They are gonna be ready to protect their own house. It's homecoming. There's it's a critical game in district. The district is tough. Vandergrift's playing incredible. Dripping Springs is playing solid. Rouse is putting up a lot of points and beating a lot of folks. I mean, it is a very, very solid district. So it's a win we need to step up and take.
The demeanor of your team this week, how are they?
Well, you know, it's funny. You always know what you want to expect, and then you always wonder what you're going to get. You know, when we went in to go over our scouting report and stuff like that Monday morning, our kids saw what we were going to be trying to do, and they're going to step up to the plate. I think they feel very confident about winning the ball game Friday night.
Okay. Coach, is there anything you want to say about their Rouse's offense, defense, anything that jumps out at you?
Well, you know, the only deal is that they, you know, their kids are all back. They have come leaps and bounds from where they were last year. They are running the ball very effectively. They're throwing the ball well. They have been able to slow a lot of folks down. I think they shut out Liberty Hill, you know, which is something that not a lot of people do. So they have improved tremendously from last year. They've done a good job over there. So our kids have got to make sure they don't remember Rouse of last year. They better know who Rouse is this year, and we're going to have to get after them pretty good.
All right. Coach, look forward to catching you at the end of the game on Friday night. All the best to you, and we'll be right back.
These days, it's important to save money where you can. Performing regular maintenance on your air conditioning system can help lower your monthly utility bills. Sign up for Ken's Heating and Air Ultimate Savings Agreement and get 15% off on all service repairs. Ken's Heating and Air.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining me, the legendary Spike Dykes, one of the most winningest footballs. I don't even know if that's the correct term, Coach, but certainly one of the most successful footballs in Texas football history here. Thanks for coming on the show. Do want to get your thoughts on the Mustangs and what's going on with them. Marble Falls is transitioning right now. Zed Warner, the 3-year starting quarterback here, has suffered some injuries. He's not going to be able to be as effective as he once was before, and that means Marble Falls has to transition to a brand new quarterback and to put him in situations, I hope, that will make him successful. What do you think the coaches and the teammates need to be doing right now to get these quarterbacks more comfortable?
Well, Jennifer, anytime you have a coaching change, I mean a player change, especially a quarterback, it takes a while. Everybody's got their own little package that's good, that they're good for and they're good in, and you have to do, and they're all different, so you have to change it around a little bit. You know what happens when you do that, I think the team has got to rally around the new quarterback. That's such an important position, and they can't do it without the team's confidence. They can't do it without the team's input, and they'll be good. They'll be good. These kids really have worked hard. They've practice hard, they play hard. It's just going to be a little new role of leadership on the field every Friday night. And but I bet they handle it well. I really do. They're basically very well heeled in fundamentals, and we just have new leadership. So you have to do the best you can. Sometimes people are really surprised that you lose your very best player sometimes, and you know, strange things happen. Everybody gets better. Everybody picks up the slack. And that's what needs to happen if Marble Falls wants to stay where they are.
You know, Marble suffered a 6-0 loss at Cedar Park Vista Ridge to open district play. Coach Warner called that a heartbreaking loss. What do they need to do, or how do you mentally bounce back from such a small loss by such the smallest points, but so big on the season?
Well, the thing you do is, well, what a defensive game they played. I mean, you know, the whole Vista Ridge 6 points. Are you feeling me? Great. And so they got to just build on the defense and try to improve on the offense. And I think anytime you have a quarterback change, anytime you have a quarterback injury and they're limited what they can do, it makes it hard. It really does. You just have to find new ways to do it. But with the defense that played like they played, that's a lot to build on. And it's maybe not always real flashy, because it takes a while to get your offense in gear, especially when you lose a quarterback or when his role is limited. But gosh, when you can play defense like that, it's got to excite you. And you know, a lot of teams win on defense. They have very little offense, and they have great defenses. And that's what I think I'd do, is just try to build on that defense.
Lovie Smith over in Chicago then. Coach, Marble Falls has had some injuries now to some of their key players, a lot of seniors they felt like were going to contribute. Some of them are sitting out now. They're having to rely on some kids, underclassmen who've yet to play or are just now starting to play a lot of varsity football. What can be done to help that learning curve for them?
Well, it's it is a learning curve. It's a crash course is what it is, Jennifer. You know, when you're thrown into the game like that, they usually react one of two ways. You know, one is real good and they play over their head and do better, or they get stage fright and don't do very good. I bet these guys do good. You know, football is people talk about it all the time, and it takes great players, but it's a team sport. And it's amazing what happens when teams that overcome what you have to overcome sometimes to be real good football teams. And they overcome injuries, they play together, they grow up, they learn how to play, they got new leadership, new roles, and a lot of times it works good. It's a hard process to go through. And I think patience is very important. I think you don't need to go out and expect immediate success, but hopefully you get improvement each week and each minute of the game. And then when you do that, you're in good shape.
Final question about the Mustangs. What can fans do right now to help this team? I'm not sure that they're down because this is such a confident team, and yet it was a 6-0 loss.
Well, just build on the defense. Just be, you know, a lot of great defensive football teams. I mean, TCU is a great example of what's happened in the last. I mean, they were not very good on offense for a number of years. Played great defense, turned right around. Their offense got a little better, and as they got better, they became a top 10 football team. And I think, you know, there's three sides to the football game. There's offense, defense, and kicking game, of course. And go stress that defense and go play like crazy, play good field possession, and get some turnovers, and who knows what'll happen. It could end up real good.
Okay. You know, I have to ask you about the Big 12. Texas A&M is now officially joined the SEC. They're going to join officially July 1 of 2012. Texas, OU, the Big 12 now will go to 9 teams. Give me some thoughts and give me your thoughts on everything's happening.
Well, I hate it, Jennifer. I hate to see what happened. You know, the Big 12 has really been good. The record right now out of the conference is 26-2. No other conference is close to that. We got 5 teams in the top 20. I guess the grass looks greener always on the other side of the fence. Who knows? That's none of my business to begin with because I don't know all the details. I do have an opinion though, and I hate to see that breakup. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, one of the great experiences of being a football coach at Texas Tech is to go take a football team to College Station. You got to get there. You know, you get there 2 hours early, and the Corps out, they're warming up, and all that goes on in a game day is unbelievable. And it's an experience that I think every young student athlete in college football gets a kick out of, and to not be able to do that anymore is going to really be a tragic loss. You know, the funny thing about it all, everybody said, well, when Arkansas left the Southwest Conference, it'd be, you know, everybody was doomed over here. And you know, these are great schools, and they'll pick up the slack, and it'll be a bigger, better, stronger conference before it's all said and done. And I wish A&M good luck. Like I said, I hate to see it happen, but my gosh, I mean, we've got a great conference, and for it to stay solid and to stay together is really important, and I hope it does because there's no better football played anywhere.
Coach, certainly appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for your time. Look forward to hearing from you again, and we'll be right back. Surprises. That pretty much describes the Mustangs' approach against Leander Rouse on Friday. Look for the Mustangs to pull out all the stops on both sides of the ball in order to put themselves in a position to win the game. But no matter what happens against Rouse, make sure to come back, stay with us next week when we talk about this Rouse game against the Mustangs and then talk about what the Mustangs are doing during their bye week. Until then, I'm Jennifer Fierro. We'll see you next week.